Hello everyone and welcome to Siriana Tarot. This is a singles new love reading for Aries. We're going to look at the kind of love you're ready to experience now based on the growth you've already done. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Clear messages, advice, and guidance for my Aries, please. Aries, you came through strong in the Pisces reading, so if you're interested, you may want to check that out. All right, your person is showing up as the Nine of Pentacles, all right, Venus and Virgo energy. They're also showing up as the Page of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. They're viewing you as the Magician, Virgo, Gemini energy. And the connection, we see the Queen of Swords. Okay, so to me, this is a connection that's very in alignment, but I also think that you and this person have a strong intellectual connection. You view the world in a similar way. You think the same. Yeah, Aries energy, Emperor showing up. So you could be dealing with another Aries. I feel like you have somebody here who's really in boss mode. Somebody who's doing quite well for themselves. Now, this person might have a little bit of a temper, Aries, but I see, I don't see my Aries being quite bothered by that. They're passionate. This person's strategic, but they really have life together. This is somebody who is ready to step up. Now, this may be somebody who in the past was a bit of a player, but I feel like now they kind of have built a life for themselves where they're ready to share what they've worked for. I feel like this person is very well dressed. I feel like they're wealthy or they're comfortable or there's a comfortable lifestyle here indicated for the two of you. And I feel this is somebody who just really is secure and grounded within themselves and know what they want. All right, let's keep going. We see Five of Pentacles. Okay, so your person, what I'm getting here is your person knows hardship, Aries. This is not somebody who everything has been handed to them. Or, maybe they have experienced, divorce or separation, bankruptcy. Maybe they've, built themselves from nothing. But I love this energy because we definitely feel this grit, this edge about this person that I think you're going to be quite attracted to. But that edge is not something that feels volatile. It's not something that feels like, oh, this is like a bad boy or a bad girl. But it's somebody who's lived. It's somebody who's experienced. And through that experience is where they've gained their strength. And I just get that you're going to respect this person. All right. And we see the Wheel of Fortune. Destiny, Sagittarius energy. This can also indicate the fixed signs, Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius. The Wheel of Fortune, though, for me is also indicating this is not only a destined partnership, but this person, they're ready to move forward. And it feels like this person has a lot to offer. They're going to feel fortunate to be with you, to have a shot at this with you, Aries. But I'm also getting that they have a lot to offer. Somebody who's wealthy, somebody who's, and some people may consider this person lucky. But remember, luck is where preparation meets opportunity. And this person is prepared. And I do see that they capitalize on opportunities. This person may also do investing or maybe work in investments. That's not going to be for all of you. Now, my Aries, how are you going to be feeling? The Seven of Cups in reverse. So you're going to have clarity. You're going to feel that soulmate energy, that sweet energy, the Six of Cups energy. You're going to have clarity. You're not going to feel confused about how you feel about this person or this connection, because it looks like you meet them at a time where you're quite in alignment and you also have everything you need, right? Magician energy. I feel there's a really strong intellectual connection, or you two see the world the same way. We're seeing relaxed. Yeah, you're going to feel at ease with this person who's likely super approachable. Yeah, you're going to be able to relax into this energy, Aries. And that's also because they're going to provide emotional safety, physical safety, financial safety. But not because you're looking for someone to make everything better in your world. But there's that safety that's going to allow you to relax into this. Beautiful energy. We see Virgo. So Virgo is coming through strong. Virgos are planners and organizers. They can have a tendency to overthink and overanalyze, but I don't think many people see that side of this person. All right. And we see passionate. Yeah. Emperor energy. This is where you two are also where these excuse me, flames of passion ignite. There's never a dull moment with this type of person who enjoys life fully. They could be an exciting lover. In fact, I know they're going to be an exciting lover. Okay? This person's going to know how to really turn you on. And we also see because they're solid, they're strong, they're dependable, they're steady. Absolutely. So this feels really good. This feels like this could really be something long term. And I think you're going to be seeing that right off the bat. Now, the Page of Pentacles is interesting because there is also a sweet side to this person. And we see that maybe they do overthink and overanalyze at times. This is somebody who doesn't like to take risks anymore. Although I do feel like they did take a lot of risks in their youth or before. But now this person, I don't know if they have their own business or they've just achieved wealth. So I do feel like this person is really responsible. But they also know that they have a lot to offer. So they're very conscious and discerning about whom they get involved with or whom they offer what they have to. We see hot mess, but this is coming out in reverse. At one point in time, I definitely feel like this person was a hot mess. But I do really feel like that's behind them. All right. Now we see performer. So some of you, this person may, whatever they do for a living or maybe something on the side, they may do some sort of performance. That could be poetry, that could be art, that could be music, it could be, theater, it could be acting. But it could also just be something that they've done in the past. I also think this person's a high performer for sure. And I also feel like this person, when they're animated or they're telling stories, like they know how to perform when necessary, but they're not going to be performing with you, Aries. Maybe a little bit in the beginning, but I feel like they drop it with you and you see who this person really is. And I think it's still very, very desirable. All right. And we see retired. So for some of you, this person, maybe they're a retired performer. So maybe they used to have a band or they used to, do poetry or something like that, whatever it might be. But for others of you, this person could be 65 plus. They could be moving into retirement or have retired. But that's not going to be for all of you. And so remember these really specific messages, Aries. They're going to not resonate with all of you, but they will be confirmation for some of you. Retired also, if you've been listening to me long enough, doesn't necessarily indicate it's somebody who's in retirement, right? It could be somebody who had a job. Maybe they were a teacher for many years. This is the example I always give. And they moved into something else. So they've had at least 2 distinct careers. We see that this person is awakened. So this is where you and this person are going to really connect. And some of you, they're in their 20s. Okay. But again, a really specific message just for some of you. All right. So take what resonates and leave the rest, my lovely Aries. Now let's see what else we need to know about this person. What else do we need to know about this person? What else do we need to know about this person? All right, journey. I feel like this person is actually around you in some capacity. Okay. This might be somebody who used to do a lot of traveling a lot or maybe even touring. They don't do that anymore. Not because they don't want to, not because they won't in the future. But more so because I do think this person is more grounded and more stable at this point in time or looking for more stability. But I also feel like this person may not be far away from you. Now that could be in time or that could be in actual distance. Yeah, change. I think your person might have had some instability, that hot mess energy. They might have been a bit nomadic previously, although I don't consider somebody nomadic to be a hot mess. But, I feel like this person is somebody who's much more grounded. So they might have recently bought a home or they've recently decided they want to settle down. Okay. So I like this, Aries. And we see mature woman showing up in reverse. Now, my readings are not meant to be gender specific, but some of the cards that I use are. I get a lot of maturity about this person. Okay. But what I'm getting with this mature woman, she looks a little uptight, right? This person is anything but. But I don't think they're lacking maturity. In fact, I think they have matured a lot. I think they've grown a lot. I think they're very stable. And I think they're ready for a stable, mature partner. But I don't get that this person is rigid. I don't get that they're stuffy. I don't get that they're stuck up. Are they serious when they need to be? Absolutely. but I also think they're a whole lot of fun. So we see courthouse. Some of you, they might be going through some sort of litigations or something, lawsuits, but it could also be that this is what they do for a living. But when I get this energy of a lawyer coming through, or what I presume to be a lawyer, obviously it could be a profession or something they've done, but more so I get this is somebody who knows how to see both sides of an argument. I also feel like this is somebody who knows how to plead their case, right? So they're not somebody who's just impulsive. They're not somebody who distorts reality. They're someone who's going to come to you if there's a problem, and they're going to say, I'm feeling this way, and this is why, A, B, C, right? Or I think we should do this, but they have a plan, right? So I do like that energy. And at the bottom of the deck, we get despair. So for some of you, you might meet this person when they're worried about some sort of settlement or litigation. They could be involved in some sort of lawsuit or something. But again, I actually more so get this person might be somebody who came from nothing, or somebody who knows hardship, hot mess energy. But now I feel like they're in a very different place, okay? They're in a very, very different place, Aries. Now, what they love about you is, or how they're viewing you rather, is the Magician card, Virgo, Gemini energy. So Virgo, Gemini energy is communicative. It's intelligent. They're seeing you as having all the tools that they need. So basically you're checking all of this person's boxes. They also see that you're relatively healed. You've released baggage. You're in a very healed energy, which is going to be very grounding and create safety for them as well. Like, oh, we're in alignment. They see that there's magic around you, Aries, and I feel this is going to be quite a magical connection. They're also viewing you as the King of Pentacles, so some of you could have Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn in your chart, most likely some Virgo energy. You both might have Virgo energy in your chart, but that's not for all of you. The King of Pentacles is they see you as wise. They see you as seasoned, no matter how old you might be. They see you as knowing your direction in life, where you're going, even if you don't necessarily feel that way. But I like this because he's navigating rough seas, but he's maintaining calm. We see that like you have experience, and this person needs that as well. Five of Cups energy in reverse. They might be a little bit worried that you're not going to make yourself emotionally available to this person. But I also feel, Aries, this person is really seeing you as somebody who's healed, somebody who's grounded. And that's what's so attractive about you here. Because you're not about like drama and bullshit. You're not projecting from from your past onto them. So I like this relaxed energy because not only are you going to feel really at ease with this person's going to feel really at ease with you, and investing in you is going to be really easy. Falling in love with you, Aries, is going to be easy. Now look at that. How you're going to be feeling, the Ace of Swords. Again, clarity, clarity, clarity coming through for you. You're going to feel like you trust this person. You're going to feel like this is it. This is your new beginning. This is something that's really in alignment with you. But you're not going in blindly, right? You're not just jumping into it. You're being very discerning. And we see that with the Queen of Swords. It's almost like neither one of you are going into it blindly. You're trusting it. You're trusting that this is going to work out. But you're trusting that, you know what? We're really compatible. We check each other's boxes. All right. So let's keep going. Let's see what else they really admire about my Aries storyteller. So an ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. Beautiful. So this person loves listening to you. They love the way you express yourself. They love hearing about what you've been through, what you've experienced, because this person has experienced a lot. They've experienced hardship, and they most likely respect others who have been through something similarly. And I feel like that's what's going to immediately really draw you to one another, that edge that you both have. And we see advocate. I love that. They see you as inspiring, putting compassion into action. So they see you as inspirational. Now, maybe you stand up for what you believe in. Maybe you work for different causes, whether it's, animal rights, whether it's political stuff, whether it's, doing charity, feeding the homeless, taking care of the elderly, whatever it might be, whatever your personal passion and cause is, they like that. They like that you do that. They like that you give back. All right, and servant energy. Again, very Virgo, a lot of Virgo in here. You might want to check out the Virgo reading. It was beautiful in and of itself as well. But you delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. So you show care that way, Aries. So you're not somebody that wants to be waited on hand and foot. But when you love somebody, you want to take care of them. You know, and also probably people you don't love, you take care of. And there's a strength in that. There's a strength in that. And there's no ego in that. Right? And they love that about you. Now, with the Queen of Swords, like I said, I feel like you both are going to be very discerning. You're going to feel like, yes, you know, this is in alignment. This makes sense. This feels good. I'm not questioning this relationship. There's loyalty. There's honesty here. Now, Spirit's saying that, oh, look at that. You may meet through a shared challenge. This connection forms through navigating a challenge together. Alignment strengthens through cooperation. Okay, so some sort of challenge could bring you two together. All right. Growth oriented. I'm also getting someone here might do, like if you work in an office, you might have challenges, like whether they're weight loss challenges, getting fit challenges, sales challenges, things like that. I could see my Aries being really into that kind of stuff. Growth oriented. This person is committed to learning from experiences. They value evolution over perfection. Oh, do they? All right. Oh, do they? Because they have not always been perfect. They know that. So they hold space for people to be real and not be perfect, but to be growing, right? To be evolving. And we see quietly confident. I love that. This person carries self-assurance without needing to dominate. Their confidence feels calming. Yeah. You're going to relax into this, Aries. At the bottom of the deck, we see building emotional maturity. I love this. This connection requires conscious communication and accountability. All right. And an open-ended becoming. This connection remains alive to what may unfold. Ooh, I love that. Yeah. And so it's what unfolds is going to be different for all of you, but you know, it feels like it's moving in an absolutely beautiful, stable, grounded, committed connection here. All right, so, or direction rather. All right, so let's see if there's anything else my Aries need to know. Signs and clues. Pay attention to signs and synchronicities you may be receiving about this person or about this connection. So you might be seeing repeating numbers. You might be seeing whatever your personal symbols are, flickering lights, you know, hearing the same song over and over again, someone's name, like you might be seeing their name like on billboards and ads, and not necessarily because they're the one on the billboards and ads, but like, you know, the law firm, the law offices of blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And this person's name might be one of those, like one of those names, things like that. All right. And then we see proposal. So I do think this person is going to pursue you, Aries. Your romance is about to evolve and level up. This person is going to be the one to come forward and ask you out. Again, they have that sort of quiet confidence. And we see soulmate. Boom. There it is, my lovely Aries. You have found your romantic counterpart. And at the bottom of the deck, we see there are going to be sudden feelings that this is the one. But we also see life partner. Yeah, beautiful. This is the energy I get of a life partner and a power couple. All right, so let's see. Anything else we need to know? Dates or times? Anything else we need to know? November. Okay, so Scorpio, Sagittarius energy. We did see Sag here. You might just look back and understand that November was something happened in November that helped bring you two together. I mean, November's a bit of ways away. My readings are not meant to be, you know, like for 6 months out, but for some of you, it might be between now and November. Spirit saying now might not be the right timing and try again a little bit later. But again, I don't think it's necessarily going to take until November. All right, my lovely Aries, I'm going to leave it here. I'm sending you so much love and light. Take care.